Hello, my name's Nathan Botkin, and today I'm going to be running you through how to set up WordPress for Fedora Linux. The first thing we're going to do, since I'm on a Windows environment, is I'm going to use an Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. Now, this is going to help to virtualize Linux on a Windows environment. And I've already set up a Fedora Base 34 user account, and I'm going to clone this and start from scratch and show you the whole process. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do a full clone. You always want to make sure to clone so that if anything goes wrong, you can simply start over. And then the first thing we'll do, or second thing we'll do is go to settings. I'll go to network. I'm going to do a bridge connection. This is because I want my host machine and my guest machine to be on the same subnet. If I had used NAT and network address translation, I'd have to do some port forwarding. And so now I want to also hit the MAC address button. Don't worry about this cable connected thing because it's going to be virtual anyway. So I'll just hit OK. And now I'm going to start up the box here. And I'm going to get the IP address. So I'll just wait for this to load. Feel free to skip ahead because this may be a little slow. I'm going to just do this video full length and show you the whole process of installation. That way you know that I didn't skip any steps or I didn't get help with anything. I just, ran through it in its entirety. So now we will just log in with our username and password that you should have already set up. Okay, so now we'll do IPA and we'll figure out the IP address. So it's showing us now that we have an IP address of 192.168.5205. So now we can power this down, and we're going to start this up in headless start now. So we can connect, we can imitate connecting remotely. I mean, for this purpose, it will kind of be remote because, it's in its virtual environment, but it is all on the same computer here. So I'll go to SSH. I'll do SSH, your username, which is just my name. And then I'll type in that IP address we just found, like so. But you have to make sure your machine is started back up, and it has. So I'll go ahead and hit that. Oh, it timed out. Let's see what we did wrong here. I'm going to quickly go back to this machine and see. Is that an 8? Yeah, that's an 8. Okay, I typed in the wrong IP address. See, even I can't see it. It's too small. That's exactly why we're doing it on this, because, yep, see, there we go. Sorry about that. And now we'll just type in our password. Okay, now we're in. So now the first thing we need to do is do an update for Fedora. So we'll just do DNF update. We'll get this started. All right. Oh, before that, We need to do sudo su to log in as administrator. Type in your administrator password, and then we'll start that again. DNF update. And this will run through of downloading and updating. This will take a while, so feel free to just fast forward through this part. Oh, we'll hit yes for this. I like how it has a little ETA here. So not much longer, if you're still with me. So now that it's done downloading, it will begin installation. Okay, it's almost done with that. It's almost done. Come on. Always takes a little bit on the kernel. Here we go. Okay, we are complete. So next I'm going to do a DNF install for WordPress, PHP, and MySQL all in one command from Maria database server, because this is probably the most efficient way to install WordPress, because you can just get it knocked out with one step. This is how most would install it. So we'll do that with DNF install at web server WordPress PHP MySQL ND Maria database DB server. Get that to install. Oh, I typed server wrong. Let's see. I left out an R. Let's try that again. There we go. Hit yes. And now it will install. So the next process will be to get the firewall to open port 80. And to do that, we'll do a firewall. We'll do a couple of firewall commands. We'll do a add service command, a reload command, and then we will do a couple Boolean commands to set up HTTPD for the network. So I will guide you through that. Okay, it's almost done here. Okay. So you want to make sure you're still in root, and you will do a firewall CMD add service equals HTTP permanent. And this is going to open up port 80 for us. And then we're going to just do a reload of that. Oops, got to spell it right. And then the next, we're going to do the Boolean that we talked about. Set se bool p httpd underscore can network connect database equals 1. And if that is successful, it will just go straight back to the prompt. And then we will do can send mail equals 1 to set up mail, to allow mail to be sent on our server. And now I'll do a systemctl enable HTTPD service Maria database service. And then after enabling, we will go ahead and start it. So we'll just change the enable to start. And now once that loads, we're going to set up my SQL installation. So we'll do that with MySQL_secure installation. Then we'll set up a password. Switch to Unix socket authentication. That's fine. No, we don't want to change the password. Yes, we want to remove anonymous users. And yes, we want to disallow remote login. We want to remove database and access, test database and access to it. And we also want to reload our privilege tables now. Yes. So once you're done with that, it logs you out. And now we will create our database name for MySQL. MySQL admin create WordPress DB is what we will call it, but you can call it anything you'd like here. And then root P, I'll do, and that will create, and now we'll do the password we just did. Once that is good, we'll log in MySQL U root P. There's our password. And now you can see that the prompt is changed to Maria database, letting us know that we're now in SQL, or MySQL. So now we'll do a command show databases. Make sure that it added our database, and there it is at the bottom, WordPress DB. So that worked out well. And we'll do grant all privileges on WordPress DB dot star to WordPress user. Now this, you can make anything, but I'm going to keep this simple. Localhost identified by password 123, just to keep, this is just for demonstration purposes though. Don't make your password that simple. We'll hit enter on there. That worked out great. So now we'll do flush privileges. Oops. Okay. Let's do that again. I typed something wrong there. There we go. Flush privileges and then quit. And now we will need to change, we'll need to edit our config file for PHP to let it know that we have a user account now. So I'll do that with nano etc WordPress config PHP. And then you'll just scroll down here and you'll change to the database we created in MySQL, which was WordPress DB. We'll go and change our username. WordPress user, and then password to the password we set. And we're going to leave localhost alone, and we're going to leave all the other settings alone. So to save this, we're going to hit Control O to write it out, and then we're going to save to the config file, Control X to exit out. And now we need to do one last thing. We need to do, let's see, let's hit enter on that. We need to edit the configuration file for WordPress because it doesn't allow access to all users. It only allows it to local. So we're going to change that. Oops, looks like I typed something in wrong there. Let's try that again. I forgot to type a D there. There we go. So now we're going to find require local. There it is. We're going to change that to require all granted. And once we do that, we're going to write that out. That's all we need to do here. So Control O. We're going to save the config file, and we're going to exit out of root. And now we're going to click on Firefox, and we're going to type our IP address in. It's 192.168.52.085 actually. WordPress. Forbidden. Oh, and that is because we forgot to restart the server. So we need to do one more command. We need to do systemctl restart. Oh, it's not gonna, I need to do sudo. Forgot to do sudo because I logged out of root, remember? So now I'll do systemctl restart httpd, and then you'll enter your password. Oh, I typed it wrong. So we'll try that again. CTL. There we go. Now let's see if it worked. There we go. And there you have it. You can begin editing your WordPress server however you like. So thank you for this, letting me show you this demonstration, and hopefully you will create an amazing website.